Okay, so I guess my impressions to this point are it's a great concept and it's pretty comfortable to lay in, but again, a little bit on the small side for me. Again, 6'1", so I'm not a super tall person, but I was pretty much end to end in it, and if I had another, I would say 10 inches would be good, 10 to 12 inches would be good. Also, you feel like the sides, the supports, you feel like there's just, I know there should be a lot of tension there because it's supporting a lot of weight with me in it, but it just feels like that tension is not so evenly distributed, and I felt like there was a lot of strain on the zippers and on certain stress points in there. So, and it may be nothing, it may be that all the components are strong enough to take it, but just kind of a first observation. So now what we're going to do, we're going to break out the tarp, take it out of the stuff sack, and the tarp is real nice. Looks like sil nylon, I guess, and I think what we're looking for here, kind of determine where the ridge line is, and it's pretty neat. It's got guy lines in the corners with tensioners there, just like on the head support of the hammock, and these really neat little stuff sacks in the corner so that your lines don't get all tangled up. Just put them in there. So that's kind of a cool idea. The attention to detail on this seems pretty neat, pretty impressive. Now we can find the ridge line on this by looking for these three tabs. These three silver tabs, they kind of go the direction of the ridge line. And then the ridge line, I'm sorry, the top of the tarp across the ridge line ends with this little metal carabiner and then some nylon webbing, and within that webbing they've sewed some elastic. So you've got a little tension strap there, an elastic tension strap there, and again another one of these tensioners here, and it looks like plenty of cord and a toggle. So let's walk through this and see how tough it is for a first setup. I suspect too that a lot of the clumsiness, A, it's the first time dealing with it, B, it's the way it comes packed from the company. So certainly when you put it away, or I put it away, we'll do things maybe just slightly different, or a little more the way we like it, so it'll be quicker to deal with. So now plenty of cord here, we'll take this, we'll bring it up, and if it's like every other hammock, you want to make sure we cover up the carabiner, this point where the suspension meets this ridge line. We want to make sure the corner of it is at least over that, so if it rains, it's protected. And obviously, if you had much more distance between trees, we would be using a lot of this cord. But today we don't have a lot of distance we're dealing with these trees. So we're just going to stick this toggle right in there. Nice way to secure it. Then we'll use this tensioner. Okay, and I'll pull that up tight. And again, we'll just kind of make sure that at least the edge of the hammock there is covering up this area. And I suspect we'll have to do a little more adjustment than that, but alright, so it looks like we've got the ridge line. And I'll just follow that across. And again, we've got these three gray pieces of webbing that indicate the ridge line. So we'll just follow this, pull it across. Pick one of the buttonholes, put it through. And again, because we don't have trees that are very far apart, we're going to snug this up pretty far. There we go. And just kind of tension that. Okay. And now, we'll take one of these cords here. And again, these are toggled and they come in those neat little pockets. And we'll get this cord. I'm just going to fasten this without using the toggle for right now, just to get an idea. Then I can always get back. I'm going to have to back up. Take this front tie out, and this tarp is an asymmetric tarp, so it's not a square tarp. It's kind of an offset diamond shape. But this is kind of neat. They give you long lines to use with this. And again, I'm not using the toggles for this initial setup, but pretty cool. We'll go under here and we'll flip this over the back. And we'll run these lines out. I know you can't see me right now, but I'm just repeating the process from the front. Wrap it on this little branch that I have here. That'll at least give you an idea. This tarp is pretty massive, frankly. I did not bring any extra rope today, any extra cords, any ground spikes or anything like that. I wanted to just go with what was in the bag and kind of get a feel for what was provided. But just to give you an idea of just how big this setup really is. There are plenty of guy outs all the way around the tarp. Plenty of these points all the way around. There's another cord here in the front. Oh. Yeah, I didn't see that. So those little stash pockets are pretty convenient, and I suspect that once you've done this a couple times, you probably develop an eye for the right spot too, to hang it. We're kind of losing light, so I'm being maybe a little bit sloppy, not using the toggles the way they're designed, kind of rushing through just a little bit because I don't want the light to fade. But let me grab the camera again and just kind of show you. So again, I've got a couple of guy lines that were supplied, and we've got those run out, so we've got a nice straight flat top. So in nice weather, you could really, again, taking time, you could really pitch this tarp out nice and taut, keep the sun off. But again, you can see all these tie out points on every corner. Here's another rope that I overlooked right up here in this pocket that we could use to pull this out farther back and make it much tighter, give it a much tighter pitch. But you get the idea. And in bad weather, we could certainly snug this down, and with all these lashings, all these guy out points, you'd be able to put this down pretty tight to yourself and protect yourself from the weather. I definitely think that if you're already a hammock camper, if you've already got experience with that probably the ramp up time to use this will not be as long as maybe with a newbie hammock camper. But definitely there's some unique qualities to this that you'd have to get used to. All in all, I think it's a great setup. All in all, I think it's, heck, I got a good value on this. I believe the normal price on this setup, and it's all inclusive with the tarp, the hammock, the stuff sack, the straps for the trees. I think the normal price at REI was about $340. I got a really good deal on it, just because they were running a sale, and also some dividend dollars. But I suspect that that $340 is the normal sell price. So thanks for joining me on this. I'm not sure how informative it was, other than you get to see it out in the open here and look at somebody like me stumble through it. But hope we learned something together here, and I definitely would recommend this. Although I think it's a bit small for me, I definitely recommend this item. I think the quality's there, I think the value's there, and I could tell you right now, we're doing this and it's about 55 degrees out, 58 degrees out, and with that mat underneath me in the hammock, I was only in there a short time, and then when we took a break, I stayed in it for a few minutes. But I could tell you, for those of you that do hammock camp, you know that you tend to feel the cold, even in temperatures higher than this, you tend to feel that cold pretty quick on your backside. And with that mat there, it definitely made a difference. So I believe this will be a pretty comfortable rig. I also think that if you tend to do any winter camping, winter hammocking, that maybe even a strip of Reflectix inside there with the mat, on top of the mat, might even be a benefit. But that's yet to be seen. We may have to give that a try. So I'm eagerly awaiting a larger size, but I think I will definitely road test this on a couple of overnighters. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. This is Yukon Chuck with Traditional Fun, and my camera lady Lena. And that again was the Exped Ergo Hammock Combi. All right, well, some final thoughts and observations. The Exped Hammock is a very well built, very well designed, in my opinion, piece of equipment. It looks like a piece of gear that'll last you for a while. A lot of attention to detail, a lot of consistency in the construction. The only real, it's not a gripe, the only real observation that I had that for me was negative was, again, I'm about 6'1", and I wish I had a little more length in the hammock. Other than that, very, very comfortable hammock, very neat design, and even with me wishing I had more room, sleeping on my side, on either side, was comfortable. So I would say I give it 2 thumbs up. I would highly recommend this, and I can tell you that I, for one, will be keeping my eyes open for when Exped rolls out an extra large version, if they ever do, but it sounds like that's on the drawing board. So I'll be eagerly awaiting that, and I expect to purchase one as soon as that's available. So if you decide to pick it up, I don't think you can go wrong. Good luck with it, and happy hanging.